Yo, what's going on, everybody? JP here, checking in live, respectmyregion.com. We're here live from the 2023 Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. I've got a very special guest here, Alex Al-Sabah, co-founder of the 1937 group here in Illinois. Alex, how's it rocking today? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. A lot of activity out here, a lot of people showing up.
It's been a busy day at Benzinga.
Yeah, man. I wasn't here last year, but I did hear, compared to last year, there's a lot more activity, so
solid.
Excited to see, a packed house.
And with you guys here at 1937 group, a lot of people in this area know you guys, been all over the news. You guys have dispensaries launching the brand. You're in over 100 stores. Talk to us a little bit about what you guys represent and what you guys are doing here in Illinois as a cannabis company.
Yeah, so we're a vertically integrated cannabis company here. We started off with a cultivation, a retail, and a transportation license. As one of the few minority groups, I think there was only maybe 3 in total that were able to have a vertical starting off. And yeah, man, ever since day one, since we won the licenses, it's just been a nonstop, grind. We've been fundraising. We just last weekend, we started we opened our first store. So that was a big accomplishment.
Congratulations on that. That's so exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, specifically that project was one we were excited about. As I think we have a retail consumption lounge, a bar, restaurant, event space, and a gaming license. So
wow.
It's a unique,
so
unique
crazy.
Project from that standpoint.
My gosh, it's a lot of fun that goes into it. You were saying off camera too, from the wholesale, the book, the sales perspective for your brand, you're not necessarily a one-person show because it's a whole team wide as a company, but you're bearing a lot of that effort yourself. Can you expand on what is that workday like when you have all these licenses and you got retail and you've got the brand and restaurant space and lounge space? It's just a lot. So how are you guys managing all that?
I think it starts with the team for sure. My partner Ambrose has assembled a good team of, folks that have a large array of experience, but also deep in their field. So, from our attorney who's doing legal work to HR, Ambrose is, doing a lot of legislative, being the voice, of the social equity program and leading that, as well as operating the multiple facets of our business. Yeah. It is a lot of work. Me specifically, I just, have a lot of cannabis experience, so I just naturally kind of took on the role to, kind of run the sales, marketing side of our business. And it's been nonstop. As I mentioned, we started selling into shops in May of 2023. It's now September, so roughly about 5 months or so, a little bit more than 5 months, and we're in 120 out of the 156 stores.
Woo-wee,
so
it's
a big accomplishment, but it's a lot of work. And
2/3 of the way there, man, crushing it.
Yeah. It's fun though. It is fun.
It's fun to be on the road. It's fun to curate the product. I know getting to check out the bags and determine what goes where. It's got to be a little bit of fun for you.
Yeah, it's I would say it's just shocking, right? Like, because you apply for these licenses, and then you have to go through all of the processes, getting municipality support and approval, fundraising, construction, and then you have to execute from that point. Then you get your business stood up, but you still have to operate it. And
absolutely.
I think from early on, we really recognized that just the Illinois market was just really dominated by larger corporations. And as a minority and someone who has a lot of experience in cannabis specifically, I personally felt like the industry or the market here was lacking in products and availability to certain SKUs.
Relatable products. Nothing was on those shelves when I was here 2-3 years ago that was like, damn, that looks like some shit I would buy.
Yep.
Now it's way different in the way that, I would say, the way the market looks.
Yep. And so, I would just say there was a lack of like national recognizable brands, and several brands that I think would fit well here because of the product. We focus specifically on product innovation and product differentiation. So to your point of looking and surveying the market and then seeing what products are not offered. For example, a perfect example is pre-roll blunts, right? Like, I'm a blunt smoker. I've smoked blunts for so many years, and then in a market that's not as mature, there's certain products that just don't exist yet.
Yeah, you just find them like, where they at? They're not here.
Right, and so that was a perfect opportunity for us to kind of enter into that and start offering those products. And so we currently, under our Lobo brand, our partnership with Lobo, we rolled out a 1 gram glass tip hemp roll blunt, and then a 2 gram Presidente, and then we have our pre-roll minis. And then in terms of product innovation, we have a partnership with Bloom Vapes, which has been a phenomenal success. I mean, the customers here in Illinois have really loved the product.
Yep.
Specifically our disposable surf pod.
Yep.
You know, it's a proprietary technology. It's a disposable.
They've been on those pods for a long time. Bloom is real big on staying consistent. They made their own versions of the different hardware. They branded it out. They've rebranded it.
Yep.
And overall, things are looking really good for them, man. And they just opened their own dispensary. I saw.
Yeah, in
I
LA.
saw he opened Broccoli there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's actually coming in tonight, Vitaly. We're gonna have some dinner and
Shout
hang out
out,
a little
man.
bit.
It's been cool to watch that brand grow.
Yeah.
It's funny because we've all been in cannabis long enough now to be able to see people get some of their starts, grow, expand, build, fail in some cases.
Yep.
What do you really attribute your guys' growth trajectory, the last few years since we've known each other, what do you really attribute to that growth, to that success? Is it a mindset, is it culture, is it people, or is it all of it?
I think, you know, it starts with strategy, right? I think recognizing a market opportunity and then putting a plan together.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I think the next thing is just executing on that vision. You know, you really have to put in the work, you know, and it's in a lot of cases work that a lot of people don't want to do. It's
Absolutely.
too much work. And so one thing that we've done, I think, very well is all of our team is just incredibly committed to making sure that this thing is successful. And then I think, you know, laying that groundwork early on, so specifically our retail strategy of coming out of the gate with multiple retails.
Yeah.
I think a lot of other license winners maybe did not understand the time that it takes to get municipality approval, because you still have to go to these cities and get them to say, yeah, we would want you to come to our location. And so actually we did that. Ambrose and myself and Sonia, our attorney, we started working on this 6-8 months ago. And so now all of those, you know, seeds that were planted, no pun intended, are starting to, you know,
the rollout is able to happen.
It's starting to happen.
And not be so clunky. It's just going to be clunky no matter what, but not be so clunky along the way, right?
Yeah, and part of that strategy too, I think, just goes into, you know, recognizing that in a market like this where it's so heavily dominated by corporations, we wanted to come in and not disrupt anything that they're doing, but we also didn't want to, you know, be leveraged by any larger company. And so vertical integration was, I think, a big part of our success story, and having the vertical allows us to not be so affected by price compression because we have our own retails, you know. So if you're just out there selling to shops, you know, at any given time they could just not take your product.
Absolutely.
And so having your own retails, I think, is somewhat of a, you know, incubates you from some of that risk.
Definitely provides a little bit of, we'll call it padded, like, risk management to be able to kind of have access to those resources. Now, in terms of resources, you guys have a new dispensary. This episode brought to you guys by Treez. So I know you guys are launching with Treez. Can you speak to the efficacy of their platform and how that's helped you guys plan this rollout and plan for future successes?
Yeah, so I think, you know, naturally we evaluated a few different platforms. Myself being from California, I knew of the name, but I had never used Treez in the past personally. So I went out to friends that I have in the industry and got feedback, you know, and ultimately I think where I became comfortable with Treez and my partner and the rest of our team was, you know, they have such a large percentage of the market share in California, which is debatably the longest running retail market, some could argue.
Largest and biggest, supposedly.
Right, and so, you know, I think I respect a lot of people that come from my shoes that have started in the industry when it wasn't so cool and people took real risks and risked their freedom for this. And so I know groups like that have been around for 10 plus years in the space. Same with Bloom, same with all these brands that we're partnered with, Old Pal.
And if it's working for them and that's where they kind of fell on, then it makes sense.
And you know, they've just had the longest time to learn from any mistakes or errors that could happen along the way. And then, you know, once we started understanding the true features that it offered, I think it made a lot of sense for us to go there. And, you know, shout out to Treez for giving, you know, preferential pricing for social equity applicants. And so
not everybody pays attention to those key, we'll call it human issues.
Yeah.
They don't try to make special situations for that. You don't have to, it's business world. But just the fact that they go out of their way to do this kind of stuff, that they power these kind of interviews for us to allow us to connect and amplify and help support. You know, big shout out to Treez and their team.
Absolutely.
Alex, we got to get going. Do you have any exclusive information that you can share with the people? Any kind of tips, any kind of announcements? I know you did mention.
We got a lot of big announcements, but I'll share one little carrot with you guys. We got something special for everybody at MJ Unpacked. Hopefully we can catch up there. We're going to be unwrapping something very special. So we're
Woo!
excited to get that out in the market. And
Stay
let everybody
tuned, y'all. You guys better stay tuned. They're going to unwrap something big. You guys know if the 1937 group's going to do it, they're going to do it big, they're going to do it right, and they're going to let you know about it. Alex, I appreciate you, my man. Appreciate
you, man.
all for all the love, taking care of RMR, inviting us into your community. Wish you nothing but success. Make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe. We got more interviews coming. This is Joey J. Ping, Alex Al-Sabah, 1937 Group, and we're coming at you guys live from Benzinga 2023. We'll see you next time.